Poker is fun, but how do you make your game even more fun? So we'll do a couple of videos about this. One, we're going to talk about just some extra ways to add fun games in between. And then on the other one, we'll talk about how you handle the food situation. Because when you have people over to your house, it ends up costing you a lot of money, or people end up bringing 87,000 bags of chips. So how do you coordinate that piece? So we'll come back to that. Right now we'll talk about how do we make it more fun. So I think having a dealer button is super important. You can get a nicer one than this, but you need something. You could use even some memento or something and throw it out. Make sure, especially whenever we are using two decks, it's a good way just to keep it going of what's going on. Now, I just bought an all-in chip because I used to always joke, because when you're at the casino playing, somebody goes all in, the dealer has to throw that card out. So I finally got this so I could actually throw it and be like all in, right? I probably need a few of these because several times many people will be all in. If you buy some of the cheaper sets, you'll get something like big blind, small blind. If you have these and you need to use them, then you should win a bunch of money off of people that need to see who the small or big blind is. So good luck on that one. Bomb pots. So bomb pots are fun. If you don't know what a bomb pot is, there's, I guess, different ways that you could do it. The way that we do it is we set an alarm for every 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, depending on what we're feeling on the evening. And we say, whenever the timer goes off, whoever is the dealer at the moment, the bomb pot's going to move to the next person. They get to decide what we're going to do. And then they also get the button for the regular piece of the game. So what do they decide to do? Well, they can say we're going to do a double board $2. And so what happens is everybody, if they say double board $2, everybody puts $2 in. We make it optional. So if you don't want to play that, then you don't have to. Pretty much everybody does because we're all degens in here playing poker anyway. You put your $2 in, you deal all the cards out, you go to the flop, and then you start the round of betting. So these hands can get bananas. You've probably seen some online if you follow poker bloggers. Maybe ours don't get that crazy, but most of the time when there's a bomb pot, somebody ends up busting and needing to rebuy. And maybe that's when those $25 chips do come into play. We also have an option. If you, one, let me tell you, limit it to double board. We've done triple board and even a quadruple board once. That's ridiculous. It kind of takes away from the fun. So you can do single board, you can do double board, and then make it either, again, usually you're trying to raise the stakes, get everybody in so that it's a family pot. But we also allow you to do, have you ever seen the game left, is it left center or right? Left, right, center? I don't know what it is, but it's this dice game. And so they'll do that where basically everybody puts $3 in. So you take, a dollar chip, or three $1 chips, you put it out there, and you play the left, right, center game just like you normally would. Somebody ends up winning, $30 or so, depending on how many people we have, just by playing that. So that's an option for the bomb pot. And that breaks it up. It makes it a lot of fun. Usually once or twice a night, we'll end up playing left, right, center instead of doing a bomb pot. Now, something like that takes a little bit longer, maybe 10 minutes. And so if you're doing 30-minute bomb pots, you don't want to turn around and have a bomb pot again. So if somebody says left, right, center, then we make sure that we set the clock for an hour before we do the next one. So let's talk about the next thing to make the game fun. So I was playing at Excalibur several years ago, and they have a wheel. It's probably a nicer wheel than this. Maybe. I don't know. It's Excalibur. I actually had a great time playing there. Won the poker tournament that I played in. Played a little bit of Limit Hold'em and had aces cracked. Got to go spin the wheel and won like $75. So then I didn't feel nearly as bad because I only lost maybe $20 or $25 or something on it. So what we do is I put dry erase options on this. I used to change it out. Now it's been on there so long, they probably won't even erase, which is fine. I think we have a pretty good setup of what goes on the wheel. Now, when do you get to spin the wheel? We always do aces cracked. So if you have pocket aces and you end up losing, right, however it goes, that's aces cracked, you get to spin the wheel. So that's the only time where you actually lose and you still get to spin. The other is we go with a high hand. If you get aces full, or if you win with aces full or better, you get to spin the wheel. Now, if nobody wins the jackpot, we move it down to kings full. Then the next time we'll do queens, jacks, etc. I don't think it's ever gotten lower than jacks full or better. Then occasionally, we have one person that loves playing the 7-deuce game. So that one I don't like doing because it really changes the dynamic of the game, because some people will just, it totally messes you up when they have 7-deuce and they're playing it like it's something good, and they're just trying to get a wheel spin depending on what the jackpot is. So I don't normally do the 7-deuce game unless that one person is there and says, hey, can we do, the 7-deuce game? And that way, if you don't know what that is, if you end up winning a hand with 7-deuce, which means basically you have to bluff everyone out of it, right, and get them to fold. Then you would get to spin. We don't always do that one. So ace is cracked, or the high hand, and you win, you get to spin the wheel. So what's on the wheel? You probably can't quite see it. We have things ranging from you can double whatever the next thing is, and then which does obviously it doubles it, escalates it, but it starts from 50 cents from everybody, right, to $1 from everybody, $2 from everybody. So if the jackpot had just been won, what you want to do is you want to hit the double spot, and you want to get $2 from everybody, right? Then you're going to get $16 or so. We also have things like a quarter of the jackpot, half of the jackpot, or the full jackpot. So in order to get the full jackpot, you got to hit one of the only 2 jackpot spots. It's fun. Makes me think of Price is Right, right? So they get up. Usually have a good time. Somebody usually films it. And no, it's fun. Let's see what I got here. I want a quarter of the jackpot on that one. So right now the jackpot is at $60. Nobody's here, so I won't actually take that. But that would be a decent pot, right? So how do we fill that? Well, we take a quarter, right? Remember, we have 25-cent chips, so we take a quarter out of every hand and just put it off to the side in that chip tray to be reserved for the jackpot spot. And if somebody says that's a rake, which is illegal in a lot of places, and also just I'm not trying to take a rake, so I'm not trying to make money here, trying to have fun with friends. It's not a rake. That's not what a rake is. So if they're saying that, also you should invite them to your game so you can take their money because they don't understand how that works. So we just take 25 cents from every hand. So you can imagine if nobody wins anything for a couple of weeks and gets to spin, then, or if they spin and they're not winning the jackpot, then you can see how it can escalate pretty quickly. And again, there's only a few where you actually get the actual jackpot. Again, you can win a quarter, 50 cents, $1, $2 from everybody at the table. And so that hits more commonly. So it does make that jackpot go up. I think that's super fun. Everybody really loves it. It changes the way you play a little bit, but it's not uncommon. And you see that at most poker rooms, in casinos. So just another fun thing. Quarter out of each pot, throw it in the jackpot, adds excitement to the game.